Good morning, children. This is lecture 2B of Elements and Compounds. This is in continuation with the lecture 2A. Now, this is a slide of valency. Now, valency is a very important thing that you have to know. Valency means it is the combining power of an atom. Combining capacity of an atom. See, I'm just explaining you in a very easy way what is valency. For a human being like us, we are having two hands. Now with two hands, we can hold two persons. So this is the valency of human being. The valency of human being is 2 because they are having two hands and they can hold two persons with their two hands. So their valencies are 2. Similarly, all the elements, they are having some combining capacity. That means they are having some hands. With those hands, they can hold other element. Okay, they can combine with other elements. So these are the hands of an atom. Every atom is having their particular hands, particular valency. That can be calculated. There is a process of calculation. What will be the valency of an atom? But when you will go to the higher classes, in standard 7 only, you will come to know how to calculate the valency of an atom. Okay, but here in this class, you please learn those valencies. In the next slide, you can see that the valency of some element is given. So that you have to learn, and I will tell you how you have to learn. Okay, now, so let me first talk to you about the valency and then I will go to the next slide and I will show you. Now, valency, as I told you, is the combining power of an atom. And I told you that every atom is having a specific valency. So, valency, why it is needed? Valency is required. Why it is required? What will happen if it can combine with 2 elements or 3 elements or 4 elements? What is the use? Valency is required to write the chemical formula. When you are writing a chemical formula, that time this valency is taking very important role, is playing a very important role. Without knowing the valency, we will not be able to write the formula. So valency, knowing the valency is very essential and important. Just I am giving you the example of H2O. Now, you all know that the formula of water is H2O. H2O. You know that 2 atoms of hydrogen is combined with 1 atom of oxygen. That you all know. Now I am just showing you. Valency of oxygen is 2. How it is coming? That there is a method of calculating. But now you please learn it. The valency of oxygen is 2. Okay. And valency of hydrogen is 1. Now you can see that there is only 1 oxygen. That means 1 oxygen is having 2 hands, as the human being are having 2 hands. Okay. So this is 1 hand of oxygen. This is another hand of oxygen. Because one oxygen, this is an atom of oxygen. You know it. Now 1 atom of oxygen is having 2 hands. So this is 1 hand and this is another hand. Now I am having 2 hydrogen atom. If I am writing H2 means it is 2 hydrogen atom, or you can say 1 molecule. And you know that 1 molecule of hydrogen means 2 atoms of hydrogen. Okay, so each atom of hydrogen is having valency 1. That means each atom of hydrogen is having only one hand. Okay, so suppose this is my hydrogen. Now, this is hydrogen having one hand. This is another hydrogen having one hand. So, each hydrogen is having one hand. Now, this hydrogen, it will combine with one valency of oxygen. Okay, one can hold one only. So, they are making this is known as bond. And here also this hydrogen with its one hand, it can hold oxygen. So, they are making a bond. Similarly, oxygen also with its one hand, it will hold one hydrogen. Here, oxygen with this hand, it can hold one hydrogen. So, if you are holding someone, that other person will also hold your hand. So, this is a bond. And the formula we are getting, because to form a water molecule, we need one oxygen and two hydrogen. So, its formula is H2O. Am I clear? Have you understood? Similarly, see for this one. This is NH3. That means one N and hydrogen 1, 2, 3. So it is NH3. This is the formula of ammonia. See, ammonia. This is the formula for ammonia molecule. Formula is NH3. How it is forming? Let me just show you. Suppose this is N. Now nitrogen is having valency 3. Nitrogen is having valency 3. You have to learn this, children. So this is one valency, this is second valency, and this is third valency. That means nitrogen is having 3 hands. It can hold 3 atoms of other element. Okay, 3 other atoms it can hold. So here the atoms are hydrogen. Now the hydrogen, this is one hydrogen with one hand. As I told you, hydrogen is having only one valency. This is one hydrogen with one hand. This is another hydrogen with one hand. Now what will happen? These two will hold each other and they will make a bond. These two will hold each other, they will make a bond. And these two will hold each other, they will make a bond. Okay, so they are making a compound N and 3H. So NH3. I think I am clear to you all. Come to BF3. See, B and 3F. The name of this compound is boron trifluoride. Okay, now here also you can see that. Suppose this is boron. Now boron is having 3 hands, 3 valency, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now fluorine is having 1 valency. Okay, so fluorine, I am writing here fluorine. Suppose this is fluorine atom having 1 valency. This is fluorine atom having 1 valency. And this is fluorine atom having 1 valency. We are having 3 fluorine atoms. So they are making a bond. These two are making a bond, and these two are making a bond. And I am getting BF3. Now your question will be, we have to write in this way, little just in this shape, or we can write straight. You can write straight also. You have to write in this form, or you can write in this form. Anyone you can write. Okay, it is all the same. So have you understood why valency is needed? Without knowing the valency, you will not be able to write the formula. And the following slides, I will show you how to write the formula, and that is very important that you have to learn. Okay, how to write the formula by using the valency. As I told you that the valency of some common elements given to you, now you have to learn all those. Okay, so there are 30 valencies, 30 elements with their valencies given to you. This you have to learn. And how you have to learn? You have to write the valencies in your notebook. It is not once. You have to write the valencies every day. What you will do? You just write the name of the element in one place. Okay, write the name of the element in one place and write it in a white paper and get it Xerox. And every day make 30 Xerox pages of this one. First you write the elements from 1 to 30 in a paper. Only the name that is in words. And then get it Xerox. 30 pages. Okay. Every day take one page and then put the date. Don't complete all the pages in one day. Then you will not be able to learn anything. Every day you have to take out one page and then put the date and write the valency of the element that you have written in words. Once, every day once you have to write the valency. First of all, when you will start for 5-6 days, you just open the book or open the slide. It is taken from your book only. So open the book and then by seeing the book, you write the valencies. You need not to learn. And then after 6 days or 5 days, whatever it may be, close the book. And then the name of the elements written with you, you just see that and you try to write without seeing the book. See that how many you can write. If you cannot write, suppose you are able to write only 5 and rest you are not remembering. No problem. Open the book. Again you see and write. Like this, if you do, after 10 days you will find that out of 30 you are able to write at least 25. This exercise you have to do for 30 days. Do it in a separate paper. Or if you want to write every day the name of the element and you want to write it, I don't have any problem. You can write the name of the element every day in a paper and then you write the valencies. I don't have any problem. Otherwise, write once and then get it Xerox, 30 copies. This exercise for 1 month you have to do. Okay, put the date and when the school reopens, you have to show us those Xerox papers that 1 month you have done this. This is your homework that I am giving you. Am I clear to you? Now just see. Valencies of some common elements. It is given here. Hydrogen with valency 1, helium is 0, lithium is 1, beryllium is 2, boron is 3, carbon is 4, nitrogen is 3, oxygen is 2. As I told you, nitrogen is 3 and oxygen is 2. I told you, na? So you can see here, fluorine is 1. That also I told you. Neon is 0, sodium is 1, magnesium 2, aluminium 3, silicon 4, phosphorus 5, sulfur again 2, chlorine is 1, argon 0, potassium 1, calcium 2, scandium 2, titanium 2, vanadium 2, chromium 3, manganese 2, iron is having 2 and 3. It is known as variable valency. Iron with iron, the symbol is Fe with 2 valency. it is written like this, 2 plus. If it is written like this is known as ferrous. Ferrous. The name of this one is ferrous. Now, this is also known as iron 2, like this, Roman 2. And if you are writing Fe3 plus, this is another valency. The name of this is ferric. Ferric, and this is also known as iron 3. Okay, have you understood? So iron is having 2 valencies. If I'll show you how you are writing how you have to write the formula with these valencies. Then cobalt is 2, nickel is 2, copper is 1, and zinc is 2. This you have to learn. Maybe in the due course of time, I'll give you some more element with their valencies. But till now, whatever I told you, that you have to do for 1 month. Formula of a compound. How to write the formula of a compound, and what is actually a formula of a compound represent? Formulas are combination of symbols that represent a compound. It's a combination of symbol. I'm just coming to that, what it is saying. A formula indicates which elements are involved and the number of atoms of each element contained in the compound. How many atoms are present? As I have given you the example of water. What I said, the water, the formula is H2O. That means it is said that formula are the combination of symbols that represent a compound. What is the combination of symbol means? The symbol, you know that the water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So symbol of hydrogen is H2. This is H2 hydrogen, and symbol of oxygen is O. This is oxygen. So that means it is giving you the symbol of the elements hydrogen and oxygen. Second, a formula indicates which elements are involved. Which elements are involved? Hydrogen and oxygen. And the number of atoms. How many atoms are present? So by seeing the formula, you can say that 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen is present in 1 molecule of water. So have you understood what formula is representing? Similarly, if I am talking about suppose methane, the formula is CH4. So what are the things? What are the symbols that, what is combination of the symbols formula, the combination of the symbols, what are the element present here? Carbon and hydrogen. So what is the symbol of carbon? That is C, and the symbol of hydrogen, that is H. Okay, and second point is a formula indicates which elements are involved. Carbon and hydrogen. How many atoms of carbon? 1. And how many atoms of hydrogen? 4. So this is a formula is representing. Now a very important thing, how to write the formula of a chemical compound, which is known as chemical formula. What is the chemical formula of a particular compound? Okay, if I'm asking how it is written, what are the rules? There are certain rules for writing the chemical formula. So suppose I want to write, just see this slide. Suppose I want to write the formula of a compound aluminium chloride. Suppose my compound is aluminium chloride. So what are the things that you have to do? The first is write down the formula in words. You have written aluminium chloride. Okay. The next is put in the chemical symbol. So write down aluminium. The symbol of aluminium is Al and symbol of chloride is Cl. This is chloride ion. Okay, I'll not say chlorine. I'll not say aluminum chlorine. I'll say aluminum chloride. What is ion? What is that? I will explain to you afterwards. Next, write in the valencies. So, you have written the symbol, then write the valency. The valency of aluminum is 3, and when we are writing the valency, we will not write the sign, but actually it is having a positive sign, so it is 3 plus. We will write in this way at the top, 3 plus. And chloride is Cl minus. It is Cl, not visible. Cl minus. Minus, only minus written. That means nothing is there. That means 1 is here. Okay. Then what we are doing? Balance the valencies by cross multiplying. What we will do? Let me show you here. I am writing aluminum 3 plus and chloride minus 1. You can write 1, you may not write 1. If you will not write 1, then it is understood that it is 1 is here. And if you want to write, it's no problem, you can write. Then what you will do, first you have to write the valencies at the top. And then you crisscross. Bring this 1 here with Al and bring this plus 3 to Cl. Okay. So what I am getting now, after bringing aluminum with aluminum, this 1 will come without sign. Please follow me what I am saying. 1 will come down without sign. And this 1 will be written here. Now, not at the top, here. You have to write 1 here. And then next you write down Cl. Along with this 3 is coming. So 3 will be here. Now this one you may write, you may not write. Generally we are not writing. If 1 is there, we are not writing. And then your formula is AlCl3. This is the formula of aluminum chloride. This is known as crisscross method. Am I clear to you, children? The last slide was a general one. Now see here. Rule 1. Crisscross rule. What you have to do? What are the steps that you have to do? Write the correct symbol of the element I told you. Above each symbol, write the correct valencies I told you. To obtain the proper subscript, crisscross the valencies and drop the algebraic sign. I told you. Let me show you once again here. They have written the formula aluminum oxide. This is aluminum oxide. Aluminum, first you write down in words, then you write down the symbol. Aluminum means Al. Oxide means oxygen, O. This is known as iron. This is known as iron. When we are talking about iron, then we are writing in a formula. Then it is written as oxide. Oxide is the ion of oxygen. Now what is iron? I'll explain to you. Now oxide I have written. Now write down the valencies at the top. So it will be in the superscript. Aluminum, the valency is +3. And oxygen, this is oxygen with the valency 2-. I ask you to learn the valencies, okay? This is very important, otherwise you will not be able to write. -2. Next step, what I told you, crisscross. Bring this 2 down with L and bring this 3 down with O. That means write down the subscript. Okay, so what it will come, I said without sign you bring. So AL along with this 2 will come crisscross. So 2 I will write here in the subscript now. Now we will not write anything in the superscript. And O along with O 3 will come. So the formula of aluminium oxide is Al2O3. See here Al2O3. Am I clear, children? So here I have taken the formula of aluminium oxide. Again it is said the same thing. Steps in writing formula. Number 1, determine the symbol of the elements in a compound. That means the symbols are given here. Some symbols. Potassium is K, sodium is Na, calcium is Ca, magnesium is Mg, aluminium is Al, silver is Ag. And then number 2, determine the valencies of each of the atom. See here, potassium is +1 valency, sodium is +1 valency. See calcium here, calcium is having +2 valency. Then here it is magnesium, so magnesium is having +2 valency. Then it is aluminium is having +3 valency. Then silver is having +1 valency. Okay, let us see what is given in the third step. Third step, write the positive elements symbol first. This is very important. You have noticed that I have written first in the left hand side, I have written the positive one and the negative one in the right hand side. Suppose I have to write the symbol of ferric chloride. As I told you, iron is having 2 valencies. I showed it to you, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. This is your ferric and this is your ferrous. Okay, now it is ferric, so I have to take this one. And ferrous, ferric, both symbol is Fe. So that means it is iron, ferrous, ferrum, that means, so I have written here Fe first. Now it is ferric, so its valency is +3. Now chloride means it is coming from chlorine. The symbol is Cl. This is again iron, okay, that is why chloride. Cl, and the valency of chloride ion is minus. Now only minus means 1. You may write, you may not write. Now what is the next step? You have to crisscross. Just do the crisscross. So what actually in third rule it is saying? First you write down the positive one. I have written the Fe3 plus first. And then you write down the Cl minus. Okay. Now crisscross. So this 1 will come with Fe and 3 will come with Cl. My formula is FeCl3. I am not writing 1 here. If you write, it's not wrong. But generally 1 we are not writing. Suppose I have to write aluminium sulfide. I am writing here. Sulfide. Okay. Aluminium is the symbol Al with the valency +3. That means you can see that the +1 I have written first. Sulfide is having formula S, sulfur. From sulfur it is sulfide. The valency is 2 minus. So -1 is at the right hand side. First left hand side is the aluminium 3 plus and right hand side sulfide. Okay, then you have to crisscross. See here, after crisscrossing what we are getting? Al2 will come here and AS3 will come here. Al2S3. See, I have got the formula here. This is aluminium sulfide. And see, this is ferric chloride. The formula is FeCl3. Similarly, copper oxide, Cu2O. Now, when the subscript is 1, subscript is not written. Suppose in both the atoms are having valency 1. Like here, it is shown here, potassium iodide. Potassium, the symbol of potassium is K with a valency +1. Iodide is coming from iodine. It is I with a valency -1. So this is also having -1 valency and this is having +1 valency. This is having -1 valency, this is having +1 valency. Now crisscross. What you are getting? K with this one without symbol and I with this one without symbol. This 1 and 1 we will not write. So what we are getting? Ki. Am I clear? Similarly, suppose NaCl I will write. Sodium chloride. Symbol of sodium is Na with valency +1. Chloride is coming from chlorine, Cl with valency -1. Crisscross. With sodium, this one is coming from chlorine, this one is coming. Cl, this one is coming, and both are having 1 and 1. So the formula simply written as NaCl. See here, NaCl. Am I clear to you? Some more examples of valency 1 are shown here. Just see, the first one is sodium bromide. Na +1 and Br +1. So it is coming to NaBr. Because 1 and 1 is not written. K1 and I1. So the symbol is Ki. Crisscross, 1 and 1 will come, that is not written. NaCl, I already shown it to you, NaCl. Then it is KOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH. You can see here it is potassium is having 1 +1. This will be +1. Just let me write it. This will be +1. And OH is hydroxide having -1. So this 2 will come here and it is not written. So the formula is KOH. Okay. Potassium chloride, KCl, the valency is +1 and -1. Okay. So this will come here and KCl is written. Clear? Children, have you understood? Now, next rule is when the valencies of both elements are numerically equal but greater than 1. It is not only 1 but they are having the same value. Both the elements. Okay. Then what we are doing, then also we are not writing the subscript. How? I am just showing it to you. Suppose I want to write iron 2 oxide. Ferrous oxide. This also can be written iron, ferrous I said, so iron 2 oxide. Now I have to write iron 2. As I told you, iron means it is Fe, 2 means it is having the valency 2+. And oxide is oxygen, from oxygen it is coming, so it is the valency O is with the valency -2. Now see, both are having the same valency but it is greater than 1. In that case also we will not write the subscript. Why? How? See this crisscross, the crisscross. So with Fe, this 2 will come, and with oxygen, this 2 will come. This from Fe, this 2 will come here. And now as this is also having 2, this is also having 2, then it is coming in 2 stable. 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. Okay, so what I'm getting 1 and 1, and as I told you, we are not writing 1, so it is Fu. Actually, this is the thing happening. Similarly, calcium oxide. Calcium oxide. The symbol of calcium is Ca. The valency is 2 plus. And oxide is oxygen with the valency 2 minus. Now again crisscross. So with this Ca, this minus 2 will come. That means 2 will come. And with oxygen, this 2 will come. Now 2 and 2. So what I will do? I have to 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, reduce. So I'm getting 1 and 1. So it is CaO. Am I clear to you? That is why it is written. If the valencies are same, equal, but greater than 1, then also we are not writing. Actually, it is just it is coming in one, something stables together similarly, and that is why it is just reducing each other. Now next one is, if there is a common factor between the valencies, then what will happen? Suppose I want to write carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Now here I am having, how we are getting it? See, carbon is having formula C, symbol C with a valency 4 plus. And oxide, C only oxide, this is oxygen with valency 2. Now crisscross. So what we are getting? C with that, this 2 will come. And oxygen, this 4 will come. Now you see this 2 and 4, it is coming in 2 stable. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So I'm reducing it. So what I'm getting? C1 and O2. So 1 I will not write. The formula is CO2. Have you understood, children? Atomicity of a molecule. The number of atoms present in one molecule of the substance. How many number of atoms are present in one molecule of a substance is called its atomicity. So, depending upon the number of atoms present in a molecule, they are called monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic or polyatomic. Monoatomic means if the molecule, one molecule of a substance containing only one atom. Diatomic, if one molecule of a substance containing two atoms. Similarly, triatomic means if the molecule of a substance containing 3 atoms. Tetra means if one molecule of a substance containing 4 atoms. And more than 4, we are calling it polyatomic. Even tetraatomic also sometimes we are calling polyatomic. So let us see what is monoatomic molecule. If the molecule of an atom contains only one atom, that means suppose we are having an element, it is generally we can see the monoatomicity is being seen in all the noble gases. The noble gases, in the next lecture I will tell you about the noble gases. There are 6 noble gases we are having. They are helium, neon, argon. These all are the noble gases. There, one molecule of this helium is containing only one atom. One molecule of helium is containing only one atom. Okay, this is containing only one atom. So they are known as monoatomic molecule. Am I clear to you, children? Now, similarly, metals, some metals like sodium. I'm writing the symbols. Potassium, calcium, magnesium, all these metals, they are one molecule of this metal contains only one atom. So, if the molecule of an atom contains only one atom, then its atomicity is 1. It is known as monoatomic molecule. Okay, for example, noble gases like helium, neon, argon, etc. and the metal like sodium, potassium, calcium, all these are. Now, diatomic, as I told you, if the molecule, one molecule of the substance containing two atoms. Okay, suppose I am writing oxygen gas. The symbol of oxygen gas is O2. If I am writing O2, that means it is one molecule. So nothing is there, that means one is there. It is one molecule of oxygen. Now one molecule of oxygen is containing, it is written 2O2, that means two atoms of oxygen. Two atoms of oxygen. So its atomicity is 2. Now similarly, if I am talking about chlorine gas, the formula is Cl2. That means it is known as one molecule of chlorine. This is one molecule of chlorine. This contains two atoms of chlorine. Okay, two atoms of chlorine. If I am writing 1 Cl2, this means one molecule of chlorine. But if I am writing 2 Cl, like that, only Cl and 2 in front, this means two atoms of chlorine. This is the difference. If I am writing Cl2 and if I am writing 2Cl, this is the difference between these two. But if one molecule of a substance containing two atoms, then its atomicity is 2. For example, H2, O2, N2, Cl2, these all are diatomic in nature. Triatomic molecule, if the molecule of a substance containing 3 atoms. So very familiar example is ozone. Ozone. Ozone, the symbol of ozone is O3. That means nothing is written in front. That means 1 is there. This is known as one molecule of ozone. Containing how many atoms? You can see here it is containing 3 atoms of O. That means if I am writing O3, it means that O, O, O. So this is a symbol of one atom of oxygen. So 3 atoms of oxygens are present. So this is known as triatomic. Okay, am I clear to you? Come to tetraatomic. Similarly, if one molecule of a substance containing 4 atoms, then it is known as tetraatomic. So the example is P4 is phosphorus. This is phosphorus. So P4 means one molecule of phosphorus. It containing how many atoms of phosphorus? 4p. So it is containing 4 atoms of phosphorus. Okay. Polyatomic, the molecule containing more than 4 atoms. They are generally known as polyatomic. The example is S6. S is the sulfur. S is sulfur. So if I am writing S6, this means one molecule of sulfur. It is containing 6 atoms of sulfur and they are known as polyatomic. Is it okay, children? Am I clear to you? Now this is the end of lecture 2. Now I have given you some assignment here. What you have to do? You have to write the chemical formulae of the following compounds. Number A, sodium oxide. What will be sodium oxide? I have already shown you how to write it. Write the sodium atom with the symbol in one side and another side you write down oxide means oxygen with the symbol, and then just crisscross and try to write the symbol of sodium oxide. And just see that whether you are able to do it or not. And come to number B, complete the following grid. That means first what you will do, you will write the formula here. Here you will write the formula. What you are getting with Na plus and Cl minus. Put it here. Then Na plus and O2 minus. Put it here. Then Na plus and N3 minus. Put it here. Now Na plus and F minus. Just write it here. Then Na plus and S2 minus, write it here. Similarly, with Mg2 plus and Cl2 you will do. Then Mg2 plus and O2 minus you will do. Whatever you will get, that you will write in the corresponding column box. Okay, see that whether you are able to do it or not. In the next lecture, there will be a lecture 3 for the same chapter. Then we will do the metal, non-metals, metalloids, all these things. As I told you, this is the end of the lecture 2. Now in the next lecture, I will tell you about the metals and their properties, uses, non-metals, their properties and uses, metalloids, their properties, noble gases, all these things I will explain in the next lecture, that is lecture 3.